Welcome everyone. Today I'm delighted to have Rita Driver, who's our top agent in the Memphis market with Get Your Memphis Dream Home. Rita, welcome.
Thank you, Joseph. It's a pleasure.
Thank you again for taking time to be with us. Let's get right into it. Just for our audience, just for their benefit, how many years have you been in the real estate business?
I'm headed into my 22nd year. I have 21 years behind me and headed into number 22.
My goodness, that's a long time. And were you always in real estate? What was your prior career?
No, actually, I have a couple of prior careers. I have a background in quality control management and engineering, as well as I was a police officer for the city of Memphis, so law enforcement, still dealing with the public, just in a different way.
My God, so you really know Memphis really well. You know all the cracks of the city, so to speak, huh?
I do. One of my staff members calls me Google Maps. She doesn't need to use GPS to go anywhere in town. She just asks, how do you get there? And I can tell her.
That's great. Now, in terms of the volume of transactions that you're involved with, could you provide some information to us on, how many homes do you sell, and whether it be on the, obviously on the sell side, but also how many buyers do you typically work with as well?
Absolutely. We're set up a little bit unique from any other firm in Memphis. I actually am the listing agent, so I handle anywhere from 250 to 300 listing sides per year and transactions closed. At any given moment, we can have anywhere from 100 to 150 listings online. And then with our buyer's agent team, they actually take out the buyers more than I do at this juncture in my career, but they will close somewhere in the vicinity of 120 to 150 transactions in a year. So we wind up generally yearly somewhere in the vicinity of 400 transactions plus. 400
transactions plus, that's amazing. And are you able to do that because you have certain systems in place, or do you work with a number of partners? I mean, how do you actually manage that number of sales or transactions?
We actually have a team. I do have some systems in place, software systems as well as personnel systems. I do have 3 full-time assistants and 1 virtual assistant that helps with the paperwork flow and things of that magnitude. But all of the contracts, negotiations, and getting them ready to close, I handle that myself. I handle all of my marketing for my asset managers, and I handle all communications with the asset managers. So the buyer agents actually are the ones that take the buyers out. So we do have those systems in place. I have 5 buyer agents, and then I'm the listing agent. We are a husband-wife team, but my husband is headed towards retirement, which I'm kind of enjoying more than he is.
And in terms of awards and special recognitions, I mean, given the number of transactions that you and your husband have handled over the years, I'm sure you have tons of awards.
Well, we have all of the awards that are board-driven, our local board, as well as any national awards. I used to be a RE/MAX agent, so I made the Chairman's Club there as well. But some of the awards that I'm the most proud of are actually designations, and then I was actually fortunate enough to be one of the last Star Power stars appointed by such an illustrious group of leaders and mentors in 2010. So I was very fortunate with that, and that was something that is not based on your peers or your work. It's actually performing the job.
Well, it's incredible. And in terms of the day-to-day, when looking at a property value, how do you go about determining the value of the home?
Well, Joseph, that's a fun one because I've been here so long, I'm almost like a pterodactyl. So I can pretty much tell you in the neighborhood what the property should sell for because I'm so entrenched in my communities. And I'm entrenched with the properties that have already sold. But I do pull the basic CMA, a starting point, with and without distressed or foreclosure properties included. And then I actually kind of take it a step further, and I start reviewing whether the sales have been normal retail sales, family sales, or anything of that magnitude that would add a little extra twist.
And in terms of the absorption rate, how do you see that evolving, particularly since 2008?
I'm seeing that our absorption rate has actually we're actually absorbing more properties on our market today than we were since 2008, 9, and 10. What I'm seeing is a little bit of a stabilization in my area, which I like. Memphis has always been a pretty stable market anyway, but we have certain zip codes or areas that have been hit harder or more challenged in the last 5 or 6 year market, but it's still a niche. So our absorption rate has remained pretty well stable throughout this entire time. I do go ahead and let my clients know if they're in a little bit more challenged area that it's going to take us a little bit longer on the market. So I adjust or have them adjust, and we approve together a price point adjustment so that we're better positioned in the market to be taken quickly versus time.
Understood. And in terms of technology, I mean, how do you incorporate technology in your business? Is that playing a bigger part, or are you still doing it, let's say, the traditional way?
No, we are almost, we can be, and I know you can't tell by my desk, we are at a point where we're getting ready to switch over to totally paperless. We do have our own servers in place. That's been a huge positive for our firm and our team because they can actually go to the server, upload documents, receive documents. We're using the tablets in the field. We're using our cameras. I do not do any paper marketing whatsoever, so flyers, mailers, things of that nature. The only mailings I do are the old school. They're letters from Dave Beeson's 7 years of letters because that's how I get my repeat customers. I stay in front of them, and I love that. Everything that we do, though, is all software-driven, email-driven. I do still have that personal touch of our phones, but of course today with cell phones, Google Voice, and the ability to text out, it's phenomenal. I can actually answer questions quickly with less stress and less time lapse, and we don't have to stop and use a payphone because I'm that old, Justin.
That's funny. So, but I mean, it sounds like you guys have an incredible machine there in terms of your ability to manage so many transactions and at the same time maintain that personal touch, as you mentioned.
To me, that has been a staple in our firm for 22 years. We've got to have high touch, high tech, but you've got to stay in communication, and you have to continue to be reachable by your clients. I think that is a huge pearl that every realtor needs to understand. These quick texts, although technology has a huge amount of positives, a quick text to someone lets them know that you're going to be back to them, but to only communicate via technology is still one of my pet peeves because there's nothing that takes the emotion and the inflection like a personal call or personal interview.
I absolutely agree, and I think that that's why we've tended to do these interviews in using a live format because it allows people to truly get to know the realtors that are part of our network.
I love that. I actually love that, and it's a huge honor for me to be interviewed, and especially live, because I can stumble over my words at any given time.
Now, before I let you go, why don't you share with the audience the 3 things that distinguish you and your team from some of the other realtors that may be either a buyer or seller may be considering hiring?
That is a loaded question in so many ways, and I'm not real sure that it's just 3 things, but people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So that has been a motto here. Character is what you do when no one's looking. So when you're looking to buy or sell and you're choosing a realtor, I would absolutely recommend that they interview the realtor, make sure that they have the background that will support what your financial end in the game is, whether it's to sell your home or to purchase your home. I personally have a background in financing, loan origination, as well as ethics for the police department community, and find out if they're a full-time realtor or a part-time realtor, and how do they communicate with you, and communicate the way that you want to be communicated with. Understand and know that they're a person too, but find out, are they looking just for the check, or are they looking for a relationship? Because everything in my firm is relationship driven.
Well, those are powerful remarks. And again, for those of you interested in a top realtor to serve your needs in the Memphis market, including Arlington, Bartlett, and Collierville, Rita Driver and the rest of the Driver team are available to you. You can reach out to them at 901-730-7733, or you could visit their website, getyourmemphisdreamhome.com, and where you could sort of see all the types of homes that they work with, and of course they provide other services like working with sellers, of course, and valuing your home on I believe that would be a free consultation of sorts, correct?
Absolutely. All of our consultations, whether it's a distressed seller, a home buyer looking for that first-time financing or move up, refinance, anything real estate, we are always here for free consultation and to give you our best advice and opinion, and we look forward to working with you as a future client.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you again, Rita. And again, that number is 901-730-7733. Thank you again, Rita, for your time, and we look forward to speaking again with you.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, Joseph.
Thanks again.